I'm on my other phone. And, yeah, I'm on my other phone. So it's getting on my nerves. It really, really is. I don't know if you can add people on your phone or not. But anyway, this is part two. I just wanted to finish this out. Oh, shoot. Let me find out where I left off. So, according to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, addressing compensating, recruiting, and communicating risk benefits to egg donors, it would be prudent to limit donors to those who are 21 or older and have emotional maturity to make such decisions. So you mean to tell me they're using young women? Ain't no telling what they doing in these other countries though. And that's just a fact. I think this is awful. I mean, I just think that again, so I'm gonna read this over again. 100 Thai women allegedly forced into human egg harvesting in Georgia. Missing in action losses launches investigation. 3 Thai women have been rescued from human trafficking operation in Georgia where they were forced to undergo illegal egg harvesting procedures as reported by Thailand's online newspaper The Nation. The women were reportedly among about 100 Thai nationals held against their will allegedly by the Chinese criminal gang operating out of a 4-house compound in Georgia. That's here. Um, the Georgia Ministry of Internal Affairs launched an investigation into the alleged human trafficking charges. The Nation wrote that the victims identified only as non-described the circumstances in the compound. On arrival through Armenia in a group with others, she was placed in a house with 60 other women, many of whom were in poor health and desperate to return home. Now, who want to buy eggs from a woman in poor health? Thank you for hitting that like button. Hey, Prep Board. Hey, Soy Sauce. This is insane. According to Nation Thailand, the women were initially promised jobs as legal surrogates, but now later learned that no prospective parents ever arrived to sign the contracts. Instead, the women were first to undergo monthly egg collection procedures. As reported, the invasive procedures carry significant health risks, and illegal operations often lack proper medical care and safety protocols. Thank you, Soy Sauce. Appreciate you. Either way, the eggs were sold by the gang for profit. The Nation highlights that many women desperate to escape were told they could pay a ransom of between 50,000 and 70,000 baht. That's the currency in Thailand for freedom. However, most could not afford the fee and were forced to stay and endure further exploitation. Na's family eventually paid the ransom and she was able to return to Thailand September 9th, 2024. You can't make this up. Can y'all hit the like button, please? I appreciate it. Before leaving, Na managed to speak to 3 other women, according to the Nation, who refused to allow the gang to sell their eggs but had no money to pay for their release and pleaded for help to Na, prompting her to alert Thai officials. The Nation reported that Pavina Hosko, who helps trafficking victims and is president of Pavina Foundation for Children and Women, contacted Paul Majin Serpent Transplant. I know I missed that name. name all wrong. Commander of Foreign Affairs Division of Royal Thai Police. This led to a rescue operation with the help of Interpol, resulted in a safe return of 3 women. The rescued women are currently being cared for and supported by the foundation. This is awful. Pavina has been reportedly called on the Thai government to work with Chinese authorities to secure the release of the other women. The U.S. State Department's Trafficking and Persons Report 2023 ranks Georgia as a Tier 1 country, recognizing its efforts to meet minimal standards for the elimination of trafficking. I say, man, you can't, this is awful. I don't know what you mean by that, Zed, man, and I really don't care. We're talking about the selling of illegal human eggs. These women are being held captives, and their eggs are being taken and sold on the black market. That's what we're talking about. According to the statement, law enforcement authorities transferred the 3 women to a shelter for trafficking victims. And after completing the necessary legal procedures, they left the country. This, I mean, you can go on and on and on. Nigeria. Inside Nigeria's unregulated human aid industry. In the booming fertility business, young women have unfavorable conditions and undergo multiple aid donations at the risk of their health. So every month, they go in and do the procedure to take the eggs out of your uterus, out of your fallopian tube. What kind of shit is that? It was a hot afternoon in October 2019, and 22-year-old Joan had just been crying in the ward of a private hospital in Makola, a neighborhood in southwestern Nigeria. 7 days later, she had started taking hormone injections to stimulate her ovaries into producing mature eggs, part of the process to get her body ready so that the doctor could extract them. Joan felt a little bit uncomfortable from the examination, had a few painful spots on her lower abdomen where she had been jabbed by the hormone injections, but her tears were not due to invasive nature of the procedure. Rather, it was the doctor's demeanor, which she said was rude and condescending. When he came to do the examination, I asked him if it was possible to get a female gynecologist since a female one examined me during my initial visit. He proceeded to ask what was so special about my body and said he had seen plenty of vaginas before, even that of a beauty queen, and he even mentioned her name. At this point, I was crying. He said he was not examining me again and saying that I should go, I should get out, and he stormed out. Joan considered walking out of the large building and abandoning the process, but a nurse convinced her to stay. She came in to console me and told me to apologize to him so he can just finish the procedure and I can continue so the drugs will not be wasted. So I had to apologize to this man. Joan was at the hospital that day because she was selling her eggs. Fertility is a booming business in Nigeria with egg harvesting and other vitro fertilization procedures. There are at least 70 fertility clinics in Nigeria. Joan had graduated from university and completed her year's service with Nigeria's mandatory youth course before beginning a well-paid job as a project manager, but she felt unhappy in her job and needed a change, so she quit after 5 months. She was soon quickly burning through her savings, feeling depressed and struggling to find other work. She complained about her predicament, and it was suggested that she donate her eggs. And the clinics generally pay between 80,000 naira, which is about $195. That's got to be a lot of money in Nigeria, and 150,000 naira, which is like $365 per cycle of egg donation. Joan visited the clinic to get more information. It felt like a win-win because I know how hard it can be for women to have children. So I took it as me doing a favor and still getting paid for it. The screening process and eligibility procedures vary from one clinic to another. Joan describes, they took my blood sample, had done tests done for genotype, HIV, hepatitis, and they asked many questions about my health and medical history. Afterwards, I was told to come back during my period, which is in the beginning of my menstrual cycle. The process from beginning hormone injections to egg retrieval takes 13 to 15 days. You can't make this depending on the body's response to the hormones. They gave me a bunch of injections. There were two types of injections to take. Both were meant to help my ovaries produce extra eggs so that instead of 1 egg per month, it'll be more because they need at least 6 to increase the odds for a person getting it. Wow. Wow. Joan has started taking the injections at home, self-injecting her lower abdomen just under the navel every day. After a week, she returned to the hospital to see how the eggs were growing. When I went to the clinic, they checked and said I had like 7 eggs already, and that if I could do like 5 more days or 6, they would probably get a double the number just to increase the odds. It was then that she had the unpleasant encounter with the doctor. Despite already being halfway through the donation process, Joan walked home from the clinic plagued by headaches that began when she started taking the hormone injections, intending to quit the whole thing, but she needed the money. Nigeria's unemployment rate is 33.3% in 1920. Now, Esther, a 26-year-old baker who sells cakes and pastries from Logos, has donated her eggs 6 times since February 2020. Even though experts like the American Society for Reproductive Medicine recommend women should only donate their eggs 6 times in a lifetime. But with the government mandated minimum wage in Nigeria at 30,000 naira, which is $73 per month, damn. And even the least well-paid aid donations paying more than double that per round, many are willing to accept the risk. Esther's first donation was she was paid $100,000, which is like $243. Let me see. Esther's other donations were done at clinics around Logos, where she says there was separate interest for donors, so they could not be seen by the recipients. The clinic paid her 120,000 naira, which is like $292. I have 4 younger siblings, and my mother is old. My father died in 2017, so it's up to me to make ends meet for us. It's been working well for me, and the money goes a long way, and it's better than prostitution or stealing. I guess it is. If I bring somebody and they donate successfully, I get some money, like 20,000 naira or $48. I referred 3 people, and that's 60,000 naira, $146. The procedure sometimes can be painful, but it's bearable, especially with the money. All payments were made through bank transfers, and she received the funds the very same day. Every day I had to go to the hospital for an injection on my thigh. After the first 3 days, my stomach felt very swollen and I lost my appetite. I could barely walk, yet I had to go for the injections daily. I think it was the stress of all that movement, but it was so hard. The money they offered me was 120,000 naira, $292, which was way more than 100,000, 243 the agency paid. But there are side effects. After her 6th donation, I had to go back for treatment because I was in severe pain, and I even had to pay for it myself. My belly was cramping so bad, I was admitted, given drips and a couple injections. This was a result of the amount of hormones she had been injected and the fact she had left little time between donations. When asked if she has concerns about how it may affect her health in the future, well, the procedure sometimes can be painful, and I often have painful, severe cramps with heavy flow in the next period, but it's bearable. Wow, I'm just gonna get into these videos. Where did they go? Now, this is in Nigeria. Now, listen to this.
Stem cell technology that Peter and I invested in is called SCMT, which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. It just wouldn't take it out.
Acorn?
Yeah, right. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. Negroes have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. So, girls.
Now, did you hear what he said? You guys have a monopoly on that. You have a rare genetic type. We want some of that. They know who we are, and they want it. You can't make this up.
$60,000 of eggs. Yeah. You have that in the ocean. That's very valuable. Umbilical cord, and the placenta, in your period blood is so rich with stem cells. When you regard it as waste, that it actually should be. It should be captured and recycled.
Hey, Money Low. This white man told this Nigerian, you have a special DNA and we want that. Taking their eggs. This is unreal.
Which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. It just wouldn't take it out.
Acorn?
Yeah, right. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet.
In any other race.
Sexy black women from Africa. Negroes have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. So, girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg.
I know you. $100.
And he paying them $100.
$60,000 of eggs. Yeah. You have that in the ocean. That's very valuable. Umbilical cord, and the placenta, in your period blood is so rich with stem cells. When you regard it as waste, that
Look at their faces.
it should be captured and recycled. And it should be waste. It's life.
I'm gonna keep that video. Look at their faces. They thought they was invited to dinner with these rich white men, and they turn around and tell you, we want your eggs. We want your eggs. I'm about to show this other video and then I'm gonna damn, do I got time to do something? Oh, I think I do. I can do another quick one. Let me find this other video. You can't make this up. But they telling you how special your DNA is, and until we know who we are, it's just sad. Let me find this last video. And I had to go live on my phone, so because StreamYard ain't even showing. I don't know what's going on. They're going to have to give me my money back. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if that's it.
Before the virus meets our cells is what triggers the most...
Did Sorgen see your penis at all? No. No.
Let me see.
Everybody, you've heard me talk about this for years, about the 15-minute sitting.
Oh, I think this is it right here. Okay, this is it.
Nobody talking about the fact that they literally confiscated a human egg farm yesterday. With all of the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff being talked about, no one is talking about the fact that they literally rescued 100 women that were forced to donate eggs. This happened in, I want to say, Georgia. It was a program that was happening that they listed on Facebook Marketplace advertising surrogate services. So basically you become a surrogate and you get paid a pretty decent amount of money for it, right? Now, these women went to this facility that happened to be an egg farming facility, and they were completely blindsided. They began to, house these women in very unsafe environments and force them to do egg retrieval services for very, very cheap to no price, pay. And they just rescued 100 women from Thailand that were being forced to donate eggs. This is literally The Handmaid's Tale in real life. Why is nobody talking about the fact that they...
And that's a fact, and they been doing it. Anyway, y'all, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Hit that like button, please. All right, y'all. See you later.